What's going on, guys? It's LQG, and today I'm back with another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at some NBA legends explaining why Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. Now I'm not going to say too much, we're going to get right into this, but make sure you guys smash the like button. Let's see if we can hit 100 likes on this video. Also make sure you guys subscribe to catch all the new content. We are releasing daily videos on this channel, so you don't want to miss out. And in the comments, let me know who your GOAT is and why. If it's Jordan, let me know why, and if it's someone else, let me know as well. So with that being said, let's get into the video.
Alright, bottles on me, long as someone drink it. Never drop the ball, fuck it y'all thinking. Making sure the young money ship is never sinking. About to set it up.
He's off the scale. He's really remarkable, and I think the remarkable thing about him is that I'm not sure people really know how good this guy is. You know, people talk about all the wonderful things, and they usually concentrate on the fact that what a beautiful dunker he is. If he didn't dunk a basketball, he would be as great as anyone that ever played this game. This guy's the best defensive player in the league. He's the best offensive player, and he's the best competitor. Playing on a team that complements him, but not a perfect team. He carries this team. Rarely do players carry teams to wins, much less championships. And if there is a better player that's ever going to play this game, we're all going to be scratching our head.
He made me want to be an NBA basketball player. And, you know, just to tell him, you know, thanks for everything he brought to the game and open the door up for the rest of the players.
He's undoubtedly the greatest player in the game. We're going to miss him. And I could tell all my 10 children from 9 different women that I played against the great Michael Jordan.
He can adapt his game to anything. He would fit in as the best player in the league. Like, that's what he would be. And, you know, I feel like he'll have more possessions to do more things, but there's also more athleticism in his game, and there's more length in his game, but, you know, it's also more space for MJ to go to work. So, I mean, we'll never know, but for sure, I mean, he's a masterful basketball player. Like we've been saying, his skill level is unmatched. So, of course, he'll do numbers in this league today.
Bro, I'm just going to say this. Any media person that I see in person for the rest of my life who try to tell me LeBron James is good as Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of him right on the spot. Right on the damn spot. No question asked. The next person who walks up to me and say, LeBron James, who is amazing, as good as Michael Jordan or competes like Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of you right on the spot, and I'm going to take my chances with the judicial system.
There's no game that I would ever play in and pick LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
No game.
No game. So now I want to hear what T-Mac has to say.
No, I mean, I disagree with Zeke. I think Jordan is the greatest of all time in my book. You know?
What makes him better as a basketball player? Not the rings argument. What makes him better as a basketball player, like Scottie just described? What makes him better to you?
For me, I think just completely just taking over games, you know, when it really counts. Not deferring to anybody at any given time. Yeah, there's times where he passed off to a John Paxson or, you know, a Steve Curry. Yeah, but when it's time to get a bucket, I mean, MJ was that dude to take over a game. Averaging 40 in the finals one year, winning that championship. I mean, defending the best players.
Choose one. LeBron, Mike, Kobe.
Jordan. Neither one of them. I'm not going to put that. I don't do that era. So, you know what I'm saying? But if you want to, as the most dog one and going to take the more serious and he going to win you championships and do things, it's Michael Jordan.
You took who?
No, you're not.
No, but I'm asking.
I took Jordan.
You took Jordan?
I'm never going against Jordan, dog.
Okay, the second best player you played against. Ron have to do something, or can he do something where you would go, now I would look at him as the best player?
No, I think he certainly, you know, just off the cuff, he's certainly the top 5 of all time. But playing against him and MJ, I think for me, it's MJ all day long.
I will, you know, depends on how you see, because according to the position that he plays, you know, when people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison, because Jordan is far more superior player and a very, very tough league and very, very very creative. I mean, that's not taking anything away from LeBron James because he's a great player. But it's not a fair comparison because I think Jordan is much faster to be a player.
Remember about playing him when you guys were on the floor and he was guarding you and you were guarding him, and I'm sure some terrific shootouts over the years between just the two of you.
You know, looking back over 18 years, you'd have thought that Michael and I, the Bulls and the Pacers, would have played more than once in the playoffs. We only played once, and it was that epic 7-game series. You're measured by your competition. He is clearly, and in my opinion, the best basketball player I've ever seen to date. And I knew that I had to bring it each and every time I stepped on the court when I was going against MJ.
Were you friends?
No.
Talk to each other on the floor?
He might have been the one player I didn't talk to.
Really?
Yeah. Because he might have been the one player who could really embarrass you.
And he could come back at you pretty good too.
Yeah, he could come right back at you. I wanted what he had. Him being the best, the championships. So I watched, I listened, and I tried to learn a lot by playing against him.
And what did you learn? What couple things you took away from what he did or how he played or how he acted?
He is cut from the same mold as Magic Johnson. And when I say that, and Larry Bird, all three of those players, win by any means necessary. And they will do whatever it takes on the court to win a game.
And you adopted that?
I tried to adopt that, yeah. You had to be textbook when you played the Bulls and you played against Michael.
You know, Reg, it's interesting because I think when you think of Jordan, you think about the dunks. You were a shooter.
Our games were vastly contrast. You know?
Yeah.
His was more power, dunking. Mine was more shooting, finesse. But for some reason, I think my style at times irritated him because I was in constant motion. He used his power to control players and to keep them where he wanted them.
He had great torque.
Yes, he did.
Just the way
and let me say this about Michael. Probably, if not the, one of the smartest basketball players. You know, you talk about his ability to be athletic and all that, but he was a very smart basketball player.
He thought the game through.
Yes, yes.
You thought the game through.
And he knew what your weaknesses were, and he tried to exploit them.
How good is your team?
Is LeBron entering Michael Jordan territory?
LeBron James is a great player. He's a great player in this era, but he's not Michael Jordan. You know, it's two different animals. Michael was a killer. He's an assassin. You know, LeBron is more of a facilitator. He's the guy that you're gonna give the ball, and he's thinking shoot first before pass. Where Michael, you give him the ball, he's thinking he's gonna score 50 on you, and then he's gonna pass.
Obviously, Michael is the greatest in my book. Been able to play him and growing up watching him play in college, you know, and getting the opportunity to play him, you know, while I was in pros was a highlight of my career. You know, one thing about him, and Antonio can probably attest to, is just his will to win. I think that's what made him so great. And, you know, you already know when you're going into a game against Michael Jordan and a Michael Jordan team that you had to play your very best in order to beat him. And some point in that game, you know that he's gonna take over the game. And you have to be able to play him as hard as possible. I always say, you know, my mentality was when I took the court against Michael Jordan is that I'm gonna go out there and make him work for every single point. And that's what I tried to do. You know, you couldn't stop him. And all you can do is just try to frustrate him, and hopefully that was enough. But normally that wasn't enough. But you know, like I say, just going out and competing against him every single day, you know, lift my game up to a whole another level. And most guys that played against him enjoy that aspect of playing against him because you know that he was going to come at you every single night. He's probably one of the few players that you can say was on top of his game every single night. You know, and when he wasn't on top of his game, he hitting you for 30. And when he was on top of his game, like he was a couple of nights, he hit you for 55. So people say, did you ever talk noise against Michael Jordan? I never talked noise against Michael Jordan because you don't want